Hi everyone, my name's Jen. Thanks for coming to join us for the OWNA Accounts Administration webinar. I've got here Pete as well. He works on the team. I don't know if you'll be able to see him.
Hi everyone. I'll be monitoring the chat, so if you have any questions, just pop them in, okay?
Yeah, so if you have any questions, put them in the chat, and any other information that you require, Pete will get back to you in that section there. So everyone's with OWNA, and I'm not sure if you know, but we have accounts administration subscription that you can pay additional fee every week for us to manage your accounts for you. So today we'll be going through some of the things that the tasks and responsibilities that we'll do on your behalf to make sure that all your CCS, your accounts if you don't have CCS, and also your family inquiries to make sure that they're all up to scratch. So with the service, we do have quite a few services that use the OWNA Accounts Administration. This is when they feel like they've spent too much time managing the family accounts or even CCS. There's lots of different questions that come up, or you might be calling our support team, and all those kind of billing, accounts, CCS questions, we manage that for you as well. So whether you're spending too much time on that, or you feel like you might be needing an extra person, whether it's full-time or part-time, but can't find anyone. And we do know that a lot of services are struggling for team members as well. So it might mean that you're pulled from the office and helping out on the floor at certain times, covering lunches. And then so when you come back, you don't have time to spend reviewing accounts, emailing your families back, and all those CCS questions that you might have. And then so our service, yes, it is a small fee, which I can cover at the end as well, but it is more cost efficient than hiring an extra admin person, because you're not looking at any sick leave, annual leave, as well as like tax and all that kind of stuff. So, we have a full team here that will manage your accounts for you. You don't have to worry about any of us going on leave. We manage that as part of our team. So I'll move on to what we cover. So for the OWNA Accounts Admin package, what you'll be receiving is, us managing your CCS reporting and your enrollments, your accounts and billing, as well as your family inquiries. So if you know that when you call support, the support is specific to centres. However, with this OWNA Accounts Admin, we will respond to your family inquiries directly. So we directly communicate with the families. So a little bit more on that, which is really good, because then, you can then spend that time with your team members, with your families, with your children. So, yeah. So when we look at CCS reporting and the enrollments, what does that include? So we'll, with the session reports, a lot of services do have that submitted automatically, and that happens on the Friday. So on Mondays, as part of our Monday tasks, we check to make sure that your session reports have been submitted correctly. Any children who haven't been submitted, we fix those errors up for you. And that means that, if there's any sign in and out issues, or your CCS enrollment has ceased, or they don't have CCS enrollments, we'll go in, we'll action them all for you and make sure that all your sessions are submitted to CCS. We also run your payments report on a Monday to make sure that they're reflecting on your family accounts correctly as well. Any retractions that occur possibly, but all that is run for you as well. In terms of the CCS enrollments, when a family enrolls at your service, you can let us know. And what we'll do is we'll go in and set those CCS enrollments up for you. Sometimes when parents complete the enrollment forms, they might put in the CRN number incorrectly, and then you're having to chase those families up for those numbers. We can do that for you. So if we go in and we create the CCS enrollment and it gives us an issue, gives us one of those error messages where it says the child or individual CRN does not exist, we'll go and we'll follow that up with the family. We'll ask them to complete their details, and we'll make sure that the CCS enrollment can be created. So which means that you're not having to go back and forth to try and find the right details to create that CCS enrolment. We also cease enrolments for you as well. So if a family puts in their notice or the cancellation of care, you can let us know. And what we'll do is we'll make sure that the CCS enrolment is ceased correctly, that the last CCS payments are correctly paid as well. Or if they're not going to be attending, we'll let you know that there may be a cessation of care, so that we'll let the family know. So then they'll be paying full fees. So then you're not left with a debt and chasing that afterwards as well. We'll also, in regards to any previous sessions, so if there's any errors that you might have for your attendances, what we'll do is you can let us know that, you know, a certain amount, like say last week's session should have been this amount of money, or it should have been a different hour session. So let's just say it was supposed to be an 11-hour session instead of 10. You can let us know and we'll update that, make sure that the CCS gets paid or retracted, and that you're reporting the correct information to CCS and that it reflects correctly on the family accounts as well. So, and that could be, let's say, as an example, I have a few examples of what we've had previously. So the most common one is families that attend 5 days a week, and this is for long day care, but we also do for OSH as well. But as an example, for long daycare, they're a 5-day family. They were submitted as 11 hours instead of 10. So the centre just lets us know, and we update that for the last, 2 to 3 weeks. And that means that CCS will readjust and we'll pull through the payments to make sure that the family will either get the credit that they need and update their invoices as well. So that's one example. Or even staff discounts. We manage staff discounts for you as well. So if you have a team member that was missing staff discounts, we'll go in and we'll update that. So just things like that that are the previous sessions, we'll update for you. What we don't manage is the any future booking changes or casual bookings. So those are still managed by the service. But if you do need help with any booking patterns, you can let us know and we'll definitely help you out as well. So you know, this has really helped a lot of services, because when it comes to CCS, we all know that there are different rules and policies and all that kind of stuff, and any change of the session can affect what gets paid to the family. And then you've got, you know, families then chasing it up and all that kind of stuff. So this is where it starts, is making sure that, one, the CCS enrolments are, you know, set up correctly and for the correct start date as well. Then it's the submission and your reporting of CCS. And yeah, then that moves on to a billing. Does anyone have any questions about this? I guess the CCS reporting enrolments tasks or anything like that? I think so. That's right. You could type it in the box and into the chat, and we can get answering to that as well a little bit later. So then that leads into the accounts and billing. And what that means is that when you have new families enroll, we can set billing schedules for that to make sure that they're all billed for the correct period as well. We're following up families with no payment details to ensure that your accounts are balanced and that they're making regular payments. This also ensures all the accounts are on the correct billing cycles as well. So, you know, sometimes when services do update their billing cycles, it might not be for the correct one. And then, you know, if you're supposed to be charging in advance, some families might have been getting charged in arrears, things like that. So we make sure that everybody is on the correct billing cycle. And it could be depending on your services setup. So some centres bill weekly, some fortnightly, some both. So whatever it is that you bill, we ensure that that is set up for the accounts. And then we also review the accounts each billing cycle as well and provide you with an outstanding balances report. So with that, it's to make sure that you're aware of your debtors, to maintain, to manage your debt well. A lot of services help us because we have managed to reduce a bit of debt as well. So most services we reduce probably around the 30% mark. and we have quite high ones. So as an example, we might have some that have outstanding $10,000. We've helped with ACCS. We've helped with chasing up some families, some CCS payments that didn't get paid, and, you know, reduce that to even the 5,000 mark even sometimes. So it's trying to recoup those payments so that you're not out of pocket as a service and a business. So that's what we try to do and get ahead of. And then, yeah, if on that outstanding balances report, if you've noticed that there's something, you know, wrong there, then you can let us know and we can have a look at it and make sure that that we're managing that debt, as well as organising payment plans. So if a family has rejected twice or something like that, and we've noticed that the account has started to accrue debt, then we can either contact that family and let them know that that's what has happened, and, you know, a payment plan that they're comfortable with, or depending on what your fee policy states as well. So depending on where that debt lies, and that's what we do. What's not included but is an additional is an add-on, what we call is the rejected payments add-on. So this means that we contact the family via email and SMS, and we advise them that their payment has recently rejected, and also give them payment options. So on this email and SMS, it allows them to make a payment towards, so that you're recouping that rejected payment, like those payment, so that amount and those fees as soon as it rejects, so that you're not waiting until the next billing period and then it, you know, then debt accrues. So a lot of services do use this as well, because then that means that there's someone actively following up on the rejected payments. And then, yeah, again, if they contact us, the family, if we send this notification to them and they contact us and let us know, look, you know, something's happened, we can organise, again, a payment plan, or we'll also ask you what you'd like, how you'd like us to proceed. So, you know, depending on what the response is, we'll either make a decision on your behalf, which benefits you as a service, because when we do payment plans, we don't organise them for anything lower than the weekly gap, and it needs to be an additional payment. Or if there's something that we're unsure about, we'll contact you and confirm with you first before making that decision. So, you know, we've got lots of services that we have, they've set the expectation that if there are any payment plans, the maximum would be 6 weeks that we can arrange them for. And so when a family does request that for this particular service or group of services, we'll make sure that it's 6 weeks. And if they'd like an extension or a longer payment plan, then we'll go and get that approved before providing them with the numbers and the payment plan that's more than 6 weeks. And yet that is an additional fee, because we are you know, contacting the family and making sure that they can pay and all those kind of things. But it means that you get that rejected payment finalised sooner rather than later. And then so this leads us into, I guess, the last feature or task and responsibility that we do, and that is family inquiries. And this one is a really big one. You know, we get a lot of family emails, especially because they don't understand CCS as well. And then sometimes the services, they might not be sure exactly what has occurred with the CCS. So what we usually do is what we have is similar to the support help desk. And that's where centres, you can log into the portal, log a ticket, and you'll get some, you know, responses back and all that kind of stuff. So that's similar to how the families would also respond will ask us about their family inquiries, and that's via family help desk. So on their app, they have the ability to create a ticket that comes to our team, not the support team, because we're a different team. And then so what we'll do is we'll get back to them, look at their question, review their account if we have to, and also break down their account in a way that they can see where, you know, the different CCS payments have come through and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, we've had many emails from families saying, you know, I don't understand why my CCS is this amount. Can you explain? And most often is that they use their percentage and calculate it based on the full fee rather than the hourly cap. And, you know, that is some, I guess, some education that is required on the parent side as well. and what we provide all those resources for them, but you're not spending that time trying to calculate, okay, 50% of this hourly cap and all that kind of stuff. We have the tools to be able to break this down for them in a way that they can understand. The customer support for families is via tickets or emails. And the reason why we do that is that so that you can be part of the communication. You can read those like those tickets and those comments that we provide the families, because we want to be able to document it. And as well as, you know, some of the breakdowns we do, there's a lot of figures, there's a lot of breakdowns, all that kind of stuff. So it allows the family to take that away, have a bit of a read, do their own calculations on the information that we've given them, and then get back to us. Because we find that, you know, when it comes to money, you know, it's really, people get really sensitive about it. And we understand that as well. And there's a lot of frustration. So the last thing that we would like is the family to be in that heightened state because, you know, there's been something that's miscalculated or something. And then all they're doing is either, you know, complaining or yelling over the phone. So this way it is, all the information is laid out for everyone. So for OWNA, for the family, and for the centres as well. So, you know, it's really clear information that we provide them. And our services, they really enjoy that, because if we need to confirm something with them as well, we can just do a comment to just your service. You can confirm with us, and then what we'll do is we'll get back to them. So, you know, like it really saves you a lot of time, because, you know, some of these breakdowns of accounts could be, you know, our team have done, maybe had to break down an account for 3 months, right? And it does take us a bit of time, but because we have that understanding, we have that knowledge, we can break it down in a way that's really easy for you and for the families to read. And then if that means that they sometimes, you know, families might get confused, we'll then make sure that they understand that information and diffuse that situation sometimes as well. So we've had really great feedback on our family inquiries when the families do submit tickets or email us about their accounts. So yeah, and all this is viewable on the portal as well. So at the moment, your support tickets are viewed on the OWNA Help Desk tab. If you click there and you're part of our OWNA Accounts Admin subscription, there's a little toggle, and you click that and you'll be able to see all the tickets that your families have submitted. So yeah, and again, we always follow your fee policy, and if there's anything that we're unsure of, we'll always communicate with you and ask you the questions. So the other thing is that you have priority support. So support have their own ticket system, they have their own phone line, all that kind of stuff. We also have our own priority support. So we have a dedicated phone line, which it's on the menu, but it's hidden, as well as a specific dedicated email for our OWNA admin subscribed services. And our response times are pretty quick. We reply within, usually same day 24, but up to within 48 hours. And whether it's us having a look at the accounts and letting you know, yep, we've got it, we've got your email, we're going to look into it and we'll respond back to you. So yeah, most issues or anything is resolved pretty quickly within at least 48 hours. So, and most of the questions are accounts and CCS related and billing and all that. But if you do have some, you know, small support questions, we also answer them for you. So it's a little bit of a skip the line priority support for you. So I've talked about what is included. So a lot of different tasks there. But there are certain tasks that are not included. So which I'll go through now as well. So we don't follow up on deactivated families with outstanding balances. That's because the family has left, and, you know, that would be into a debt collection, which is something that we don't look after. However, what we try to do is use more preventative measures so that, you know, if they do leave and they've left the service, that their account isn't outstanding, right? So that's where we come in, to more preventative measures to ensure they're not having those outstanding balances. We don't do manual payments. So if the family is direct depositing to your account, if you let us know, yes, we can add those transactions onto your account. However, it's best that you do it because you have access to your bank account. You know the amounts, you know the dates, all those kind of things. So if you update them on the account for us, and we can just generate the invoices for the families, that's something that we can do, but we don't accept the direct deposits. We prefer direct debit because it's a lot easier. It's on the invoices. There's the evidence for that. Invoices and payments all go hand in hand. Managing bond payments as well. So if you have bond payments that families are required to pay, we don't manage that particularly. However, what you could do is put those bond payments on your enrollment form, and the families can complete that payment or submit that payment when they enroll. So that's something that we do advise our services as well, which makes it a lot easier for you to manage. And processing refunds to families. So we don't have your bank account details, so we can't refund families, but we can always advise you on the amounts that you'd like to refund. If a family is left and they're in credit, or all that kind of stuff, then yeah, we can advise you on the refunds. We can do credit card ones. However, if it is bank account ones, then yeah, it would have to be actioned on your side. The big one is ACCS and IS claims. So ACCS is done on Proda. We can help you with determining what has gone wrong with the ACCS account if you need to submit another document. But because it is processed on Proda, we don't manage that. And IS claims is something that you do afterwards. So again, we can help you with it, but you as a service would be submitting that. So there we go. Yeah, so as I mentioned at the start, OWNA Accounts Admin is an additional subscription. It starts from $99 a week. So it depends on, similar to how our OWNA subscription works on active children. This is, we charge by active accounts. So depending on how many accounts you have on your portal or on the system, then we can just calculate that for you, and we can provide you a quote. So from 99 is from 0 to 79 accounts. And if you have 2 children, so siblings, that counts as 1 account. So depending on what that is, I can show you what the price list after this, and then you can have a look at that. This is on there. So all in all, I feel, how I describe this to a lot of our OWNA customers is that we work hand in hand with you. It's more of a collaborative approach as well. So, we support you and work around you as well. So depending on what your practices of your service is, we follow those things. So, a lot of services rely on us to make sure that we give them and provide them the correct information. And then you can let us know to update any of the information that I've spoken about as well. So there's a lot of things that we do, especially with those accounts where, sometimes we have families that don't respond to any of this. And I get a lot of those questions like, how would you manage it? So, if we've contacted them via email, via SMS, and they haven't responded, that means that they're ignoring it for a reason, right? Because most families that we find, if we email them, they'll be like, oh, hang on a sec. I've been asked about my account. Let's have a look. And then so they'll respond to us. So then that's where we would also need help of the service to make sure that, whether or not you can see them at the service and ask, hey, did you receive the email from the accounts team? Are you able to have a look at it? So it requires us to work together and collaboratively. So I've got Pete who has added the meeting. So what you can do is click on this link, and that will book in a call specific to your service. You can ask all the questions about our service and how we can help you as well. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly show you the pricing list as well. So the rejected payments is a flat fee. I'm not sure if everyone can see that, but the rejected payments is a flat fee of $59 additional per week. But if you're looking at the main package, that is from 0 to 79, you can see that it is $99. So when you get into pretty much every 20 accounts is an additional $20. So it's very, if you think about it for if you think about this, you're spending, maybe your fees for a day is 100, 120, and that's what you would pay per week for us to manage your accounts. There are, our team is a team of 3, so you would have the 3 of us, myself, Peter, who I introduced at the start, and also Caitlin managing your accounts for you, so you don't have to worry about any of us going on leave, or, that's something that you might be worried about. If you hire somebody, that they might not be available for a week. We've also worked with admins too. So we have services that have admin teams. And so, when one of them goes away, we then fill that hole as well, because we know what's going on, and then they can take a little bit of a break, as well as the owners, center directors, all that kind of stuff. They can go on leave or, fill on the floor without worrying that their accounts have someone to manage it for them. And if there's anything, you can call, you can email us. We're very contactable as well, and very knowledgeable in CCS. So we've got, and then if you're looking again, 100 to 119, it's $139 per week, and that's all GST included as well. So that's what we're looking at. Otherwise, thanks for joining, and I hope, if you don't need our service now, maybe later in the future, if you're feeling a little bit, if you need a hand, you can let us know. You can ask one of the team members to book in. So thank you for joining.